this season of acceleration.
Yeah.
Woo, that's hot. You can back me down on that that handheld. Just pull it down just a little bit there. It won't ring back on us. Perfect. Yeah, I have people texting me and telling me, Pastor, it's happening. And I was like, you know why it's happening? You're partnering. That's why you're seeing it. That's why things are moving, and you feel like they're moving accelerated. I've had people tell me, I've been working on something for years, and all of a sudden it's working. All of a sudden. Yeah, so just know that God is at work, and He is moving. How many of you know that God is speaking? Yes, He is. Yes, He is. And we'll get to some of that here in a little bit, because that's what was taking me so long during prayer. I felt the Lord was giving me something for some of y'all in the room. I like that. Amen. How many of you want something? Woo, He's got something for everybody, doesn't He? Amen. Amen. I've enjoyed John, reading 1st, 2nd, and 3rd John. Man, it's insightful, but man, it's a lot of instruction. How to live, imitating good, supporting truth, and rejecting pride. Amen. How many know we all deal with pride? Amen. And if you think you don't deal with pride, that means you deal with pride.
It's true. It's so true.
Yeah. So we've all been there, and some of us might still be there, and that's okay, because God's helping us through, right?
Yeah.
And to move beyond that. So grateful for His love, His mercy, His grace that's extended toward us every single day. He's so good. Let's turn over there. 3rd John chapter 1. That's the only chapter in 3rd John, so it's there with one we've been reading. And let's start out together. The elder, to the beloved Gaius, whom I love in truth. Beloved, I pray that you may prosper in all things and be in health, just as your soul prospers. Anybody ever prayed that prayer for someone? Yeah, this is where it comes from. For I rejoiced greatly when brethren came and testified of the truth that is in you. Just as you walk in the truth, I have no greater joy than to hear that my children walk in truth. Amen. What brings Him joy? Children walking in truth. Doesn't that bring you joy that your children will walk in the truth? Right? So He's excited. So this is John the elder, and he's writing as a spiritual father to his beloved son in the faith, Gaius, however you want to say it, a man anchored in truth. Okay? He blesses him with heavenly prosperity, that his body would flourish in the same way his soul that his soul already does. So John celebrates the reports he's heard, testimonies that Gaius not only knows the truth, but walks in the truth. For John, nothing brings greater joy than seeing spiritual children living fully aligned with the heart and the way of King Jesus. Amen. Doesn't that make you excited to walk with Him? And then he goes on, and this is where Gaius is commended for his generosity. He says, Beloved, you do faithfully whatever you do for the brethren and for strangers who have borne witness of your love before the church. If you send them forward on their journey in a manner worthy of God, you will do well, because they went forth for His name's sake, taking nothing from the Gentiles. We therefore ought to receive such, that we may become fellow workers for the truth. So here Gaius is honored because his love isn't theoretical, it's practical. He's living out love. He's not just talking it. It's not just something in theory he's practically living that out in generosity, in a generous life. And he serves both brothers that he knows and strangers that he's never met.
Amen.
Right? We all pass them on the street corners, right? And the whole church has seen the fruit of Gaius's hospitality. So John urges him to continue to sending missionaries forward in a manner worthy of God, lavishly, honorably, and joyfully. Amen. Amen. So these servants take nothing from the world. They depend solely on the generosity of the kingdom family. He's talking about the missionaries here. So this is who Gaius has been blessing. People who don't have a whole lot. They just go do what God says do, and they live out their life, right? He says that he's commending Gaius for generously giving toward the kingdom. So when we support God's messengers, we become fellow workers of the truth, co-laborers in heaven's mission. So, we give to our partners, we give globally and locally. See, what's happening is when you do that, you actually become co-laborers with those who maybe you can't go, maybe you can't, take off from work or whatever, but you can give toward that. And when you do, you become a co-laborer with those who have their feet on the ground. It's as if you're there. Right? So that's why we give, and we give generously so that the work of the Lord can move forward wherever they're going. Right? And then we got Diotrephes and Demetrius. I wrote to the church, but Diotrephes, who loves to have the preeminence among them, does not receive us. Therefore, if I come, I will call to mind his deeds, which he does, prating against us with malicious words. And not content with that, he himself does not receive the brethren, and forbids those who wish to, putting them out of the church. Beloved, do not imitate what is evil, but what is good. He who does good is of God, but he who does evil has not seen God. Demetrius has a good testimony from all and from the truth itself. And we also bear witness, and you know that our testimony is true. So John, what he's doing here with these two individuals is he's contrasting two spirits that are at work in the church with these two individuals. Diotrephes is a man who craves attention and preeminence and prominence and title. Somebody who's just after, the applause of people, the applause of men, right? And he's craving that platform and that control, if you will. And he even rejects apostolic authority and spreads slander, refuses hospitality, and blocks others out who want to help. And he expels even the faithful people, right? So he's saying that there's a spirit that is at work here, so be aware of it. His behavior reveals his heart, and that heart is not shaped by heaven. That's what he's saying. On the other hand, he says there's Demetrius, a man whose life agrees with truth. Right? His reputation shines not only before people, but before truth itself. In other words, he's living what he's preaching. Right? Heaven, the church, and John all bear witness, he says. Demetrius is the real deal. He says, if you're going to be like anybody, be like Demetrius. All right? So John calls Gaius to imitate the good because goodness reveals God. That's why I told you when we started off. Go tell someone how good God is. Because when we do that, what we're doing is we're revealing God in the room. How he's present, right? That's why we open up the way we did today. The goodness of God reveals God. And to refuse the pattern of evil that reveals a heart blind to him. That is what he's telling me. I want you to imitate good because good and the goodness of God reveals God. And what it does is it refuses the pattern of evil. Right? And then he goes on and he's going to kind of give a little farewell here in verse 13 and 14. He says, I had many things to write, But I do not wish to write to you with pen and ink, but I hope to see you shortly, and we shall speak face to face. I like this. Peace to you. Our friends greet you. Greet the friends by name. So John closes the letter with affection and anticipation. He definitely has a lot to say, more to say, but he longs to speak it to them face to face. So kingdom fellowship is always better in person. You can watch us online, but there's nothing like standing up here. Right? There's nothing like being here with the other believers, right? He releases peace over Gaius, and he sends greetings from the believers with one final encouragement. He says, greet the friends by name.
Mm-hmm.
How many of you feel important when somebody knows your name?
Oh, yeah.
Right? Doesn't it feel good when you can come in here, everybody's like, oh, hey, Norm. Could you imagine you walk in the door and everybody's like, oh, hey, after they've seen you for like 5 or 6 times? They don't know your name. Some people aren't good with names, right? And I always say, don't use that as a crutch. Learn their name. Do your best to learn their name. Even if you get it wrong, try.
Yeah.
Right? That lets people know you're making the effort to know who they are. Even if you get it wrong. Because guess what? They're going to be like, oh, no, and it gives you another opportunity to learn their name. Right? Names are important. And we're going to get to that here in just a minute. But maybe that's why the Lord, I didn't even put that together until just now. Why the Lord is doing what he's doing in here. Okay, greet friends by name. Because in the kingdom, every name matters.
Amen.
Every person is seen. I think the Lord was saying that Sunday morning, this past Sunday morning, wasn't it? Like Hagar, the Lord sees, right? Every person is seen, and every relationship is sacred to the Lord. He built us for a community. He built us for a relationship. That's part of this walk. You're never to walk it alone, but you're to walk it together, right? And so, anyway, that's kind of what I got out. Anybody get anything out of this that you felt like just stuck out to you before we go into the handout? Anybody just feel like, oh yeah, this stuck out to me in the reading?
I feel kind of dumb saying this, but
No, go for it.
I've been thinking it for a couple days now. I never heard of Gaius before, and so I haven't backstoried it to see if he's anyplace else. But I don't remember that name being anyplace else.
Mm-hmm. It's right there. That's it. Yep. Yeah. He was known as faithful and the hospitable believer. Right?
But it's just the only place he's mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
As far as I know. What do you, Dad? Was he mentioned anywhere else? Was he mentioned in Timothy by any chance? Or anywhere in there? I don't remember him being mentioned anywhere else. Yeah. To my knowledge, this is the only place he was mentioned. Yeah, that's good. That's good. And
if it was, it would be in 2 Timothy somewhere.
Yeah, it would have to be. But this is John writing, so I think this is it. I think this would be it. But the main focus is the kingdom life shows up in how we treat God's people.
Mm-hmm.
How we treat people matters. Yeah. I heard somebody say this 2 Sundays ago, I believe. And they said that when they go out to eat, they tip the server based on their service. And having been a server, that just kind of didn't sit well with me.
Yeah.
Because there are some days that person has had to deal with a whole lot.
Yeah.
A whole lot of rude people. And the last thing that they need is for somebody else to walk in and kick them while they're down.
Mm-hmm. Tip them to bless them.
You tip to bless. And if you can't do that, don't go out to eat.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah, that's your opportunity. That's a door
Yep.
of opportunity.
When you see a server that's struggling, that should be, your first response should be, oh my gosh, how can I partner with this person in prayer? How can I be a blessing to them so that things turn around today? Not how can I make it worse for them today? Right? And so I say that because not only how you treat God's people, how you treat people in general matters.
Right. Amen.
It is a testimony. Okay, it is. You are speaking the love of God or you're not speaking the love of God.
Yeah, I would like to say something, Matt. I had something happen right before Thanksgiving. I received a text from my neighbor across the street. And he said, I got a turkey from work. And he said, but I received 2 turkeys. He said, would you perhaps want this turkey? And I said, oh, yeah, of course. And so he brought me this big, huge turkey that we consumed at Thanksgiving. Now, the Lord was just telling me in the background, this guy that gave me this turkey is Islamic.
Oh, wow.
Okay? Now, I'm saying, a lot of times we have relationships and we are partial to what we do. The Lord told me when he first moved in, like when he would go on vacations or whatever, I would keep his pool, and stuff like that. And so he thought about me with the turkey. And he's from Jordan, and when he goes to Jordan, I try my best to keep things going. But I thought about that. And so God just turned right around because I readily done this, I believe. God set me up for one of my greatest blessings at Thanksgiving that we've had in many years.
Mm-hmm.
Something extraordinary, miracle happened at our house.
Yeah.
And it's when we reach out to others,
Yeah.
not expecting anything back, but we do that.
We just love people. We
Yes,
love people
amen.
where they are.
I asked my phone, is Gaius mentioned multiple times in the Bible? And it says in the New Testament, were 4 different individuals named Gaius.
Mm-hmm. So this
Wow.
particular one,
These include a host of Corinth, traveling Paul from Macedonia.
yeah.
There-
See, there was the one from Paul. Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
4 different. They all have the same name, but they're 4 different.
4
Oh,
different.
gotcha.
Yes.
It says it's a common Roman name, like John would be.
Gotcha.
Wow.
Yeah. Interesting. That's what I was going to
Well, anyway, I tried.
That's good.
No, it's good.
That's good.
That's good. Yeah, I'm glad we're digging. That's good stuff. That's what we're in here for, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you're going to go out to eat, tip to bless, regardless of what it looks like. And if you don't, please don't tell people you go to Capital City.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do not put down a card and say, come to church.
Right.
I don't know what waitresses make now, but 20 years ago when I waited tables, 25 years ago when I waited tables, I made $2.13 an hour.
Yeah.
Me too. We waited
Yeah.
tables
Yeah.
at the same time.
And I waited tables in '69.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard work. It's hard
Yeah.
work. And they're serving people.
Yeah.
Right? And so I just encourage people, treat people with the love of God. Support those who serve truth, right? That's why we support the Gadsden County Pregnancy Center, right? We're supporting the Earthen Vessels Women's Recovery Center, right? These are Teen Challenge. That's why we partner with people who are supporting the truth. And it says reject pride, slander, and control, right? Like Diotrephes had. Follow the example of those who walk uprightly, like the 2 examples that God has given us here through John, Gaius, and also Demetrius. And so those are things. And then I kind of outlined the chapter for us, which we've just gone over together. So let's flip over here to the application questions. And what you can do is get into groups if you want to. That would be great. Just kind of find somebody. Maybe you want to answer them by yourself, and that's fine too. The first question is, how can you be more like Gaius, supporting and refreshing God's servants? And who would that be? It could be someone like a Miss Tina, who does sow to sow ministry, or one of the ladies workers or the children's workers, or people who are a pastor or someone like that. So how can you refresh a Sunday school teacher, whoever it is? And then number 2, where might pride or desire for control be hindering fellowship in your life? Where do you feel like you're too good and that's why you don't go do with other people of the faith? Ooh, that'll smack us. Okay, what practical steps can you help with, number 3, to imitate what is good this week? This week, right? And number 4, how can your home influence or resource serve the advancement of truth? And number 5, who is a Demetrius in your life, someone whose example you should follow? All right, so let's just answer those questions together.
So here's the questions.